We are continuing with our discussion of biomolecules. Polysaccharides, starch and cellulose, we have done it. And the last polysaccharide we have is glycogen, which is also said to be animal starch, also called as animal starch. Generally, this glycogen is stored in liver as well as in muscles as well as in brain. Stored in liver, muscles and brain. Why it is called as animal starch? In the sense which has similar structure like amylopectin, and more branched. What does that mean? In amylopectin also, children, if you observe it, there is a branching at C1,6 alpha glycosidic linkages. First carbon of the one amylose polymer, a polysaccharide, with the sixth carbon of the another amylose polysaccharide, which forms 1,6 glycosidic linkages, will give C1,6 glycosidic linkages. It will form amylopectin. Their branching you can observe after 25 units, 20 to 25 units. But in case of glycogen, the similar branching is occurring at every 8 to 10 units itself. For every 8 to 10 units, if you observe the branching, that means it is highly branched. That polysaccharide is called as a glycogen. So in another way, glycogen is also polysaccharide of alpha D glucose. Starch is also polysaccharide of alpha D glucose. Only cellulose is the polysaccharide of beta D glucose. Hope you understand, children. This is all about carbohydrates.
So glycogen and triglyceride are same, right?
Next topic we have is amino acids and proteins. Amino acids and proteins. So far we have discussed about carbohydrates. Now our next discussion goes to amino acids. So here onwards, for sake of convenience, AA indicates for amino acids or amino acids. So what are amino acids? These are organic compounds having amine, and that is amine means NH2, and carboxylic acid as functional groups. Carboxylic acid, that is COOH, as functional groups. Such type of compounds are said to be, right? Such type of compounds are said to be amino acids, which are having both amine and carboxylic acid functional groups. And general formula, if you observe it, what is the general formula can be given? General formula C H NH2 COOH as well as R. RCH NH2 COOH is the general formula. Now if you write the structure of an amino acid, it is NH2. That is what we can give it. Yes or no? And similarly, you can write it as H, COOH, and R. And if you observe the difference between these two, COOH and R. Here NH2 group is on the left hand side, and here NH2 group is on the right hand side. This type of amino acid is called as L amino acid. And here NH2 is on the right hand side, then it is said to be D amino acid. Here we are not taking any standard compound like carbohydrates we have taken it. So in amino acids, if you observe it, if NH2 group is on the right hand side, so left hand side it is L amino acid. And if amine group is present on the right hand side in amino acids, it is D amino acid. And most of the natural occurring amino acids are L configuration only. Most of the natural occurring amino acids are L amino acids only. Most of them. These are L amino acids. Generally, if you observe the general formula, based on it, if you observe it. So, R, CH, NH2, COOH. So, carboxylic acid attached carbon is nothing but alpha. Similarly, you can take R, CH, NH2, CH2, COOH. This is alpha and it is beta. Similarly, you can take R, CH, NH2, CH2, CH2, COOH. Carboxylic acid attached carbon, I can take it as alpha. This I can take it as beta. This I can take it as gamma. So based on the position of their amino groups, if it is amino group is present at the alpha position, that is said to be alpha amino acid. If amino group is present at the beta position, then it is said to be beta amino acid. And if amino group is present at the gamma position, that is nothing but gamma amino acid. The most important amino acids for us is alpha amino acids. These alpha amino acids we are going to study, which are building blocks of proteins. Alpha amino acids are building blocks of proteins. Alpha amino acids are building blocks of proteins, we can say that. Please copy it, we'll continue the discussion. So amino acids, we have total 20 amino acids, children. There are 20 amino acids, and these amino acids, based on the requirement, we can classify them as essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids and non-essential amino acids. Non-essential amino acids are those amino acids which are synthesized in our body. Which are synthesized in our body. Essential amino acids are those which are not synthesized in our body. Which are not synthesized in our body. And to be taken through diet. To be taken through diet. Such type of amino acids are said to be essential amino acids, which should be taken through the diet or food. So if we see the examples of the essential amino acids, we have valine. These names are little odd, actually little odd to you. First time, okay, you might heard about it, but you have to be used to these names also. Okay. And second one we have is leucine. Second one we have as a leucine, children. And third one is isoleucine. Third one we have isoleucine. And fourth one we have is phenylalanine. Phenylalanine. And fifth one we have tryptophan. Fifth one we have tryptophan. And sixth one we have is lysine. Sixth one is lysine. Seventh is arginine. Eighth is histidine. Eighth is histidine. So histidine, arginine, lysine, and these are actually examples of basic amino acids. Of course, we will talk about that also. Ninth one is threonine. 10th one is methionine. 10th one is methionine. So essential amino acids we have 10. Remaining amino acids are non-essential. So we are not going to give it all. Like you can say aspartic acid, glutamic acid, aspartic acid, glutamic acid, serine, cysteine. All these are examples of non-essential amino acids, which are actually synthesized in our body. There are total 10 amino acids, all names we are not giving it, right? So amino acids, if you observe, there are 20 amino acids. Among them, 20 amino acids. Among them, 10 are essential and 10 are non-essential. And if you observe another classification of amino acids in another way, we can classify them as basic amino acids, acidic amino acids, as well as neutral amino acids. In amino acid, which group is responsible for the acidic nature? Could you please tell me?
COOH.
COOH. Sorry. So we can say that basic amino acids, if you observe it, which group is responsible for basic nature in the sense?
NH2.
NH2. If more NH2 groups are there, then it is basic amino acid. If more COOH groups are there, then it is acidic. If equal number of NH2 and COOH groups are there, then it is neutral. So you can say that two NH2 groups and one COOH group. Example, you can remember it like this: hall. Right? Hall are, that is nothing but living room in your, right? Home, hall. Like that you have to remember it. H stands for histidine. A stands for arginine. L stands for lysine. These are the three amino acids we have, which are considered to be examples of basic. Did you understand my point? They will ask like which of the following is basic amino acid. Next, acidic amino acid. Acidic amino acid means what do you write it? Two COOH groups and one NH2 group So acidic amino acid, best examples we have aspartic acid and glutamic acid. Aspartic acid and glutamic acid. All these are examples of acidic amino acids. Next we have neutral amino acids. Means one COOH group and one NH2 group. One COOH group and one NH2 group, if it is present, then it is said to be neutral amino acid. Still 3 basic, 2 acidic children. Still how many are pending? 15. All those 15 are said to be neutral amino acids remaining. As simple as that. Like valine, leucine, right? Serine, phenylalanine, threonine. All those are examples. All those are examples of the neutral amino acids. So based on number of COOH and NH2 groups, we can classify. This classification, whatever I have given, this classification is based on number of NH2 and COOH groups. NH2 and COOH groups. Classified into 3 types: basic, acidic, and neutral amino acids. Hope it is clear. Please copy it first. First, we will be writing amino acid, that is glycine. From this structure, what did you understand? You tell me that. Okay. CH2, COOH, NH2. That means instead of R, what we have replaced here, instead of R, we have replaced H. Check it. right? Instead of R, we have replaced H. That's why it is said to be glycine, and we can give it as shortcut GLY. We can write it as G. It is the only optically inactive amino acid. It is the only optically inactive amino acid because it do not have chiral carbon. But remaining all are optically active except glycine. All amino acids are optically active except glycine. Excuse me. Second one, we have alanine. Alanine, if you observe it, so there CHNH2COOH is as it is. There is no change in it. Instead of R, what you are going to keep it? You are going to keep CH3. It is ALE. Can be indicated as form A. Next, third one we have valine. Third one we have valine. What we kept here? Methyl group. Now you tell me what is this group? You just guide me. What is this group called as? Please respond first.
Isopropyl.
Isopropyl. For suppose if you keep isopropyl group instead of R, then it is said to be valine. Indication VALV. And now leucine. If I take leucine, you tell me what is this group called as? What is this group called as?
Isobutyl.
Isobutyl, sir.
Isobutyl. If you keep isobutyl instead of R, then it is said to be leucine, right? LEU. That is L. Now similarly, we have isoleucine. Isoleucine. Name indicates very clearly. There is a structural difference. Both are of isobutyl, but there is a structural difference that you can understand clearly. Now attach it to CHNH2COOH. This is ILE, which is indicated as I. Isoleucine. Similarly, we have another one which is well known, phenylalanine. Phenylalanine. What is alanine? This is the structure of alanine, right? CH3 is there, right? Instead of CH3, keep one phenyl group by replacing hydrogen. So phenyl is PH. CH3 becomes CH2. Rest of everything is same, right? CH2, COOH. Hope you understand. This is said to be phenylalanine. That is PH. That is nothing but PH. General indication they have given it as F. All these whatever I have given it so far, all those are examples of neutral amino acids. All those are examples of neutral amino acids. Such a way you have to remember the structures, right? So simply you can't by heart it. If you by heart it, you never remember that. But the way R, what we are replacing, R is H, glycine. R is methyl, alanine. R is isopropyl, valine. R is next butyl, right? Then it is leucine. Similar structural difference is there. There is another butyl. Then it is isoleucine. That is isobutyl. It is secondary butyl. It is there. Isobutyl and secondary butyl. If secondary butyl is there, isoleucine. Phenylalanine. In alanine, one hydrogen is replaced with phenyl. Then it is said to be phenylalanine, right? So remaining neutral amino acids also you have to write it. These are neutral amino acids. Next, we are going to talk about acidic amino acids. Anshul, what are the examples of acidic amino acids?
Aspartic acid and glutamic acid.
Pen mistake, huh? Okay, correct it. It is NH2. Fine. Acidic amino acids, as you have told, aspartic acid and one more thing, glutamic acid. But in acidic amino acids, what we can say, 2 COOH groups are there. COOH groups are 2. And 1 NH2 group should be there. That is nothing but acidic amino acid. In this case, if you write it, CH NH2 COOH, COOH, and CH2 N times COOH. What we are adding here, CH2 N times COOH we are adding it, but this group will be same. No? Instead of R, what you are keeping? Tell me that. Instead of R, what you are keeping? CH2N COOH. Yes or no? For suppose if that N is equal to 1, then it is said to be aspartic acid. Excuse me. What it is called as aspartic acid. Right? So I can write that structure as COOH, CH2, anyway 1, and then next CH, NH2, COOH. This is called as aspartic acid. Next one, what we have? Glutamic acid. Glutamic acid. It is called GLU. This is said to be GLU, children. Glutamic acid is GLU, indicated as E. Now here CH2N is there. So instead of it, if you write HOC, COOH, N value if it is 2, how many are there? 2 are there. Then it is said to be glutamic acid. If N value is 1, that is aspartic acid. If N value is 2, check it. Then it is said to be glutamic acid. These are the acidic amino acids. Hope it is clear. So these are said to be examples of acidic amino acids. Please copy it. We'll give the structures of basic amino acids also. Acids here. What is a shortcut I have told you to remember? Hall. Yes or no? H stands for histidine. A stands for arginine. L stands for lysine. It is lysine. The previous one, what we have given, that is glycine. Observe the difference carefully. Okay. LYS, but general symbol can be given it as K. But whatever we have given in previous case, if you observe it, the CH2N COOH, but it is a basic amino acid. Instead of it, we will be adding NH2. Instead of COOH, we will be writing NH2. So NH2, CH2 4 times, CH, NH2, COOH. So this is the group they have added it. This group, they have added it. That is said to be lysine. And one more, we have Arginine. Arginine, it can be given it as ARG, and symbol is around, that is R. Symbol is R. So in this case, you have to observe it carefully. CH, this is common for everything. CH, NH2, COOH. So later on, we can write it as CH2. I can write it as around CH2 thrice. There we have 4, no? Here we have CH2 thrice. And the next part, if you observe it, the next part can be given it as NH connected with C, double bond NH, and it is NH2. This type of structures are said to be guanidine structures. This type of structures are said to be guanidine structures. We have learned it in first year organic chemistry under applications of inductive effect. Guanidine bases are strongest bases, you can say that. So one of the strongest basic amino acid means arginine. So NH2, C double bond NH, NH CH2 thrice group will be there. So this is the group what we have replaced it. Check it, this part. This whole part is the group which is placed by R. That is nothing but arginine. Another one we have histidine. Histidine, I can write it as HIS. That is simply given it as H. And it is having a structure N, and it is H. And it is having a double bond. So this is the group will be there. Rest of till here it is common. This is the group instead of R. And it is CH, NH2, COOH. This group will be common, and instead of R, this group will be there. This is said to be histidine. That is said to be histidine. All these are examples of the basic amino acids. So like that, we have given various types of neutral as well as acidic as well as basic amino acids. And how do you detect the amino acids? Detection of amino acids. In laboratory, amino acids can be detected by the help of sample called as ninhydrin sample. If amino acids are treated with ninhydrin, it gives purple color. It gives a purple color. So, if any amino acid, if you would like to detect it, you have to spray the ninhydrin solution on it. Amino acids gets converted into purple color. That indicates the presence of amino acid. Okay. Now, the very important concept we are going to talk about, it is Jupiter ion or dipolar ion. Jupiter ion or dipolar ion. What is this Jupiter ion or dipolar ion? If you observe that RCH NH2 COOH, it is a general formula of amino acid. And this acid loses one proton. Acid loses one proton and it gets converted into COO minus, and the proton is accepted by NH2, then it becomes NH3 plus. A single amino acid is having both the charges. A single amino acid is having both the charges. Such type of ion is called as Jupiter or dipolar ion. Jupiter or dipolar ion, which has two charges, as positive and negative charges. Both positive and negative charges. So now an amino acid in which if it is consisting of both positive and negative charges, then it is said to be Jupiter or dipolar ion. This Jupiter or dipolar ion is found at a particular pH. Is found at a particular pH. At a particular pH, it is called as isoelectric point. It is called as an isoelectric point. That will be called as Pi. That is said to be Pi. So pH, if it is equal to Pi, then amino acids are existing in the form of Jupiter ion or dipolar ion. Now in acidic medium, how it can exist, and in basic medium, how it can exist, that also we will look into it. Please copy this. Next part, if you observe it, children, R, I have given it as RCH, that is amino acid. Okay, if you take it the general form of the amino acid, we have given it as CH, NH2, or COOH. But suppose if you have added acid, more acid you have added, that means around pH will be equal to less than 2. Then it becomes RCH, NH2 becomes NH3 plus, that is COOH. So it has become cation. Now what you have done? You have added base. You have added base, around pH will be more than 10. If you have added base, then what will happen? RCH, NH2, COOH, H can be donated to OH minus, and then it becomes COO minus. So it has become anion. But at a particular pH, there is an existence of even dipolar ion also. Could you please tell me what is the pH called as? That pH will be equal to isoelectric point. Pi is the isoelectric point where it can exist as dipolar ion or Jupiter ion, neither as a cation nor as an anion. At a particular pH only, amino acids are existing in the form of Jupiter ion or dipolar ion. that Zwitter ion or dipole ion existence is possible at a particular pH. That pH is called as isoelectric point. Isoelectric point. Now, in the next session, we will be talking about electrophoresis experiments related to Zwitter ion or dipolar ion in the next session. Right? That's all for this session. Please copy this.